Hello everyone, and welcome back to today's video. In today's video, I'm going to be doing a bit of a fun scenario. So there's going to be two videos for this scenario, and we are playing a game. It's called the New Campaign Trail, and basically it's to help you understand the dynamics of how a presidential election in the United States works. So you get to play as the candidate and answer policy questions about certain things that have gone on during the past 4 years. Can you win the election is essentially the point of the game. So today I'm going to be playing as Al Gore for the 2000 election, in which Al Gore narrowly lost to George Bush, and I'm going to see if I can win the election. And then in the next video I'll be playing as George Bush, and I'm going to see if I can do better than, I believe he got 271, 272 electoral votes. And I'm going to see if I can do better than him. So, today I will be playing as Al Gore, and there's also an option to play as Ralph Nader, but you can't win as a third party. I think it's very challenging. So, Al Gore, Democrat, Tennessee. And Joe Lieberman was his running mate. Moderate Democrat would be the first Jewish candidate. Geographically, could help in Florida. I'm going to go with Joe Lieberman because we all know that Al Gore only lost Florida by 500 votes in 2000. So anything that can help in Florida, normal difficulty level. And starting off, today you have announced the selection of Joe Lieberman as running mate. Can you speak more about him? Joe Lieberman is an independent thinker who has challenged people of all views. These are the people I want in my administration. And the way to win this game, and the way to win a presidential election or any election, if any of you listening to this are politicians, is to be moderate. It's to appeal to the broadest section of voters. And that's the way to be a successful person in government and a way to successfully win elections. What is your overall strategy for the 2000 campaign? And positive record of Bill Clinton and the Democrats over the past 8 years, and pledged to continue those policies. Bill Clinton was a popular president. I will appear with Clinton at a few rallies to make sure Americans get the message, and that's a good way to go. Rarely a bad idea. And looking at the map here, where do I want to go? I want to go to Wisconsin to shore up the Rust Belt. What key policies or what key points will you emphasize as you accept your party's nomination for President of the United States? Jobs is always a good way to go. Once again, this is a guide. If you're running for office, this is a perfect roadmap to follow. The Clinton administration has added 23 million jobs to the American economy and unleashed an unprecedented wave of prosperity and innovation. I will continue his policies as president so that all Americans can prosper in the coming years. Millions of satisfied Americans are watching you embrace the legacy of Clinton and pledge to continue it. Do you support Bill Clinton's actions leading to the bombing of Serbia? Let's see. I like this. I support our actions in this theater. For minimal cost, we were able to stop a potential genocide and put a dictator to justice. And that's kind of the most pragmatic answer. Like they said, support and opposition is all over the place, so that's the best way to go. And I'm going to visit Arkansas, shore up the support in the South. And America should remain tough but humble. Let's see. I like that one. Yep, good mainstream answer. That's the way you want to go. Do you have any plans to change American tax policy? We need to have a plan for middle class tax cuts. I like that. That's a good, safe answer. Go to Iowa. Which of the following best describes your position on the $200 billion surplus that is projected for this year? Prefer to allocate this money. We should enact tax cuts. We should try to keep things as they are. That's a good answer. What are your thoughts on the USS Cole bombing? We need better procedures to ensure that our forces in dangerous regions are protected. And that's the most pragmatic answer here. Shore up support in Tennessee by going to Tennessee. we don't need to focus on the policies and successes. That's the best way to go. It's a net positive. Embrace the policies and successes. Like he said, non-issue. Best describes your position on education. Increase pay for teachers. Yep, that's a good one. Now, Missouri. Social Security Fund. We need to increase benefits. Social Security. When we allow the federal government. That's a good popular answer. Do you believe that Elian Gonzalez should have been returned to Cuba? I've played this before. I've played this exact scenario before, so I know some of the answers. And this one is you want to just take the mainstream one. A small politically active minority in Florida wants him to remain. And looking at this, I'm performing well in the Rust Belt, performing well in New Hampshire, want to go there. All people contribute to a prosperous America. Do you have any plans to address or change the immigration policy if elected president? I think it's best to avoid immigration. As we've seen in recent politics, immigration is a very controversial issue. So I prefer to focus on making responsible use of our budget surplus and securing prosperity for the next generation of Americans. And immigration is not a big issue in this election. What do you think of proposals to build a sophisticated missile defense system in Eastern Europe? As president, I will reach out to key military leaders for their advice. And that's always a good idea. Reach out to people who are more qualified than you are, even if you are qualified. And Al Gore was the vice president for 8 years, so I'm sure he has experience, especially given the fact that it was towards the end of the Cold War, immediately after the end of the Cold War. He was a senator before that and a congressman before that, so I'm sure he has some national security experience, but as always, it's best to reach out to those who are extremely qualified. And of course, I'm going to visit Florida. I support increased federal hate crime legislation. That's a good, popular answer and the common sense, correct, right thing to do and answer in that scenario. Do you support additional gun control measures in this country? And gun control was not a big issue in the 2000 election. So the best way to go with this is a neutral answer. And now visit Arkansas. Should low-income parents be able to use federal vouchers? Obviously, Al Gore is running as a Democrat. He wants to motivate the liberal base. This is a good answer for him. This plan will take money out of public schools and will not fix the underlying problem. The Kyoto Protocol would commit the United States, along with many other countries, to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. Would you support this plan as president? Al Gore is a big advocate for the climate, I believe. I know John Kerry is. I believe Al Gore is as well. And we have worked for many years. Good mainstream answer. Once again, liberal answer for Al Gore. Go to Oregon. Another day, another rally on the campaign trail. What would you prefer to talk about today? Let's give a good speech about how I'm the mainstream. I will emphasize my record and experience as vice president to Bill Clinton. Voters are satisfied with the economy and direction of the country, and it is my job to continue the policies that have led to our current prosperity. What is your opinion on the performance and conduct of our current president, Bill Clinton? Is one of the best presidents we have had in recent history. His administration added 23 million jobs. Once again, always focus on the policies. And polling ahead in Arkansas because of that embrace of Clinton. And go to Ohio. What is your position on American trade policy? How do you feel about the World Trade Organization or NAFTA? These organizations and agreements, free trade, these agreements, our prosperity. I like this. Our prosperity depends on the expansion of trade, especially with neighboring countries like Mexico and Canada. We should also expand our programs to support and retrain workers who are displaced. Nice, neutral, mainstream answer. What do you think of Bill Clinton's recent action to tap the Strategic Petroleum Reserve to reduce the cost of home heating? We need to help hardworking Americans, and that is going to help in New Hampshire. And still polling a bit behind in New Hampshire. visit Wisconsin. Once again, emphasize the work as vice president. It's November 2nd. News has broken that Bush was arrested for drunken driving in 1976. What is your response? I will stick to the issues in my campaign speeches, and my spokesperson will issue a brief denial. And that's, yep, this is probably your best bet. Bush might lose a few votes, but there's nothing you can do to pile on. And I am polling ahead in Missouri and Arkansas. Probably swing by Tennessee right before the election. The upper Midwest is key. I will spend the end of my campaign in my running mate with Florida, and Florida is where I was right behind. So hopefully that should help. And as we look at the election results come in here, we're probably going to get a good idea of if I've won as Al Gore or not. And we'll see. So no election results are in. Okay, Indiana just came in, and we'll see. 9. Lost Indiana by 9. Only lost Kentucky by 6. That's a good sign. 1 Vermont by 10. That's an okay sign. Lost Virginia by 7. That's okay. We will see. It's mainly going to depend on some of the states down here. 1 Illinois by 10. That's okay. I feel like it's a toss-up with this one. We'll see. We will see. Lost West Virginia by 2.5. Okay, that's a very good sign. 1 Pennsylvania, 1 Tennessee, and Arkansas. And that might be the election, assuming I sweep the West Coast. 1 Missouri, too. Okay, I believe that's the election. If I win Wisconsin. No, that's the election. I won. Yep. Congratulations, you won this year's election. Florida won by 0.6 in Florida, so that was a good answer for the last one. I won Ohio, too, by 0.6. It was good that I visited there that one time. Wisconsin, too. Oregon. Washington. And it's going to come down... Well, it's not going to come down to New Hampshire, but we're going to see with New Hampshire. And I won New Hampshire, too. Won New Hampshire by 0.2. Lost Colorado by 4. Lost Nevada by 1.5. Lost Arizona by 6. Lost Georgia by 6. I wonder how in the Dakotas, only lost by 13 in South Dakota. Yeah, got blown out in Wyoming, Texas. Louisiana, I lost by 4. Congratulations, you won the 2000 election. Despite another challenge being thrown at you, you've cast aside George Bush and flipped the script on the Republicans, allowing Democrats to win their own 3 presidential elections in a row. Another commanding win for the Democrats as well, and with this, you have flipped both chambers back. Who cares about 1994 anyways? You'll no doubt be continuing the economic policies of Clinton, but with your own Al Gore twist. The environment, health care for all, and technology will be your 3 goals of the next term, and if you are as successful as Clinton in your achievements, 2004 will be a cakewalk. And I've been playing as Al Gore in this scenario. I won 345 electoral votes to George Bush's 193 electoral votes. And I won the popular vote by 0.8%. And that is all for today's video. In the next video, I will be playing as George Bush and seeing if I can outperform his margin of victory in 2000. Thank you all for watching the video. I appreciate it. Please remember to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notifications button so you can get notified whenever I post a new video. And I hope you all have a great day.